Light from 3 artificial suns filled the medical bay where Dr. Ju-Won Park worked alone. The small outpost floated at the edge of known space, far from Earth and other human colonies. Ju-Won liked the quiet night shifts. He could focus on his work without interruption. The emergency alarm broke the silence. A red light flashed above the door. Someone at the outer airlock, the computer announced. Ju-Won grabbed his emergency kit and hurried to the security screen. The camera showed. A small figure collapsed on the floor. It wasn't human. The being had blue-green skin that reflected light like polished metal. "Open airlock," Ju-Won ordered. The door slid open with a hiss. Cold air rushed in as Ju-Won approached the fallen visitor. She was thin with 4 arms and no hair. Purple, liquid, her blood pooled beneath her body. "Can you hear me?" Ju-Won asked, kneeling beside her. The alien's eyes opened. Large amber orbs without pupils. She tried to speak but only made a soft clicking sound. Her skin felt cool to the touch. Ju-Won's scanner showed her heart rate dropping. "I need to get you inside," he said. As he prepared to lift her, heavy footsteps approached. 2 Veldorians, tall insect-like traders who often visited the station, stopped several meters away. "Do not touch that creature," the larger Veldorian warned, compound eyes flashing with alarm. "She needs medical help," Ju-Won replied. "Solarian," the second Veldorian said, as if the word itself was dirty. "Diseased. Dangerous. Leave it." The Veldorians turned and walked away quickly. Moments later, a crack security officer approached. The mantis-like alien looked at the fallen Zilarian with disgust. "Move away from it, human doctor," the cracks ordered. "Station rules say all Zilarians must be reported and removed." "She'll die without help," Ju-Won argued. "That is not your concern. Zilarians carry disease. They are banned from all trading outposts." The officer clicked his mandibles nervously. "I will call for a disposal team." Ju-Won stood up straight. "No, I'm taking her to my medical bay. She's my patient now." The crack stepped back. "Your choice, human. But Commander Sunmi will hear about this." He walked away, muttering about foolish humans. Despite being smaller than most species on the station, Ju-Won lifted the alien girl carefully. She weighed less than he expected. Her forearms hung limply as he carried her through the corridor to his medical bay. Inside, he placed her on the examination table and activated the bioscanner. The screen filled with data, most of it marked in red. The universal translator struggled to convert Zilarian biology into terms he could understand. Heart rate dropping, blood loss severe, unknown pathogen detected, the computer reported. Ju-Won worked quickly, applying pressure to the wounds. The purple blood was thicker than human blood and smelled like sweet metal. His scanner warned that the pathogen in her system was highly contagious to most species but not apparently to humans. The alien girl's eyes opened again. She looked at Ju-Won with fear, then surprise when she realized he was treating her wounds. "I'm Dr. Park," he said slowly. "I'm going to help you." The translator beside the table processed his words. The alien girl listened to the clicks and whistles it produced, then responded in her language. "My name is Nari," the translator converted. 17 outposts rejected me. Why do you help?" "Because you need help," Ju-Won said simply, preparing a sample of her blood for analysis. The door to the medical bay slid open. Nurse Ji-Ah entered and stopped suddenly when she saw the alien. "Dr. Park." "What is that?" she asked, eyes wide. "A patient," Ju-Won replied firmly. "Her name is Nari. She needs blood replacement and pathogen treatment." Jia hesitated, then moved closer to look at the scanner data. "The computer says this pathogen is engineered, artificially created. Someone made this disease, specifically, to target her species." The alien girl spoke again, her voice weak. The translator converted. "My people are dying. The disease spreads through our colonies. Soon, none will remain." The station alert system suddenly activated. "Dr. Park to command center. Dr. Park to command center immediately." "They know she's here," Jia whispered. Ju-Wan nodded, continuing his work. Tell Commander Sunmi I'm busy saving a life. As Jia left to deliver the message, Ju-Wan looked at the data again. Something in human blood seemed to neutralize the pathogen. He quickly prepared a sample of his own blood and mixed it with Nari's in the analyzer. The screen flashed green. Compatible. For the first time since arriving at the outpost, Ju-Wan felt certain he was exactly where he needed to be. Commander, Sunmi's face appeared on the medical bay screen. Her expression was hard as stone. Dr. Park, you have directly violated station safety protocols, she said. All Zilarians are to be quarantined and deported immediately. Ju-Wan stood his ground. This patient will die if we move her now. The commander's eyes narrowed. This isn't a request, Doctor. It's an order. The disposal team will arrive in 30 minutes. The screen went black. Ju-Wan turned to Nari, who lay on the bio-bed watching him with her large amber eyes. The translator beside her bed had been working to improve communication. Did you understand that? Ju-Wan asked. Yes, Nari replied through the machine. They will remove me. It has happened before. Ju-Wan checked her vital signs. The purple blood had stopped flowing from her wounds, but the disease still attacked her system. His treatment had only just begun. I won't let them take you, he promised. Nurse Jia entered the medical bay looking nervous. The whole station is talking about the Zilarian. The cracks want her gone. The Veldorians threaten to leave if she stays. And the humans? Ju-Wan asked. Divided. Some support you. Others fear trouble. Jia approached the bed cautiously. Is it true she carries a deadly disease? Yes, but it's not what everyone thinks. Ju-Wan showed Jia the data screen. Look at these markers. This disease was created in a lab. Someone engineered it to target Zilarian DNA specifically. Jia's eyes widened. Who would do that? I don't know. But human blood seems resistant. More than resistant. It neutralizes the pathogen. Nari spoke again, her voice weak but clear. The translator converted her clicks and whistles. 17 outposts refused me help. All feared the disease. None would listen when I said it was made to kill us. Ju-Wan sat beside her bed. Tell me what happened to your people. As Nari spoke, the translator worked to convert her story. 6 months ago, a trading ship had visited the main Zilarian colony. Shortly after the first cases of the disease appeared, it spread quickly, killing thousands. When infected Zilarians sought help, at neighboring systems they were turned away. Fear of the disease led to a galaxy-wide ban on all Zilarians. How many of your people are left? Jia asked. Perhaps a few thousand, Nari answered. Hidden in small groups, all dying. The station alarm sounded. Security team approaching medical bay, the computer announced. Ju-Wan made a quick decision. Jia, lock the door. Authorization code Park 739. That's against protocol, Jia whispered, but entered the code anyway. Ju-Wan moved quickly, drawing his own blood into a collection tube. If I'm right, human antibodies can fight this engineered virus. We might be able to create a cure. Heavy knocking came from the door. Dr. Park, open immediately by order of Commander Sunmi. Ju-Wan ignored them, focusing on his work. He processed his blood sample and prepared an injection for Nari. This might help your body fight the disease, he explained as he administered the treatment. The pounding on the door grew louder. The security team had brought equipment to break through. Why do you risk trouble? Nari asked. Others left me to die. Ju-Wan checked her vital signs as the first dose entered her system. I became a doctor to help people who need help. It doesn't matter where they come from or what they look like. The door mechanism began to spark as security tried to override the lock. Jia looked frightened but stood firm beside Ju-Wan. What's your plan? She asked. We can't keep them out forever. We need time. Just enough time to prove the treatment works. Ju-Wan studied the monitors as Nari's readings began to change. Look at that. Her immune response is increasing. The outer layer of the medical bay door started to melt under a cutting tool. They had minutes at most. "I need to document everything," Juwan said, activating the medical recorder. "If they take her, at least we'll have proof that treatment is possible." Nari reached out with one of her forehands and touched Juwan's arm. "No one has shown kindness to my people in so long," she said. The door gave way with a loud crash. 4 security officers entered, led by Commander Sunmi herself. "Dr. Park, step away from the Zilarian," she ordered. "Commander, please look at these readings," Juwan said, pointing to the screen. "Human blood neutralizes the pathogen. We might be able to save her entire species." Sunmi looked at the data, then at Nari. For a moment, indecision crossed her face. "You have 12 hours to prove your treatment works," she finally said. "After that, I follow protocol." As the security team withdrew, Juwan turned back to his patient with renewed determination. 12 hours wasn't much time to save a species, but it was a start. The 12 hours Commander Sunmi had given them stretched into 24, then 48. Juwan's treatment showed promising results. Nari's vital signs improved steadily. The purple patches on her skin began to fade. "Your blood medicine works," Nari said through the translator on the 3rd morning. She sat up in the medical bed, all 4 arms moving with more strength. Juwan checked her latest test results. "The pathogen levels are down 60%. Your body is fighting back." Nurse Gia entered with breakfast trays. She had become more comfortable around Nari and now brought food for all 3 of them. "The commander wants another update," Gia said, setting down the trays. "And half the station is asking questions about our patient." "What kind of questions?" Juwan asked. "Mostly about her people. No one knows much about Zilarians." Gia turned to Nari with curiosity. "We don't even know what your food looks like." Nari looked at the human food with her large amber eyes. The translator clicked as she spoke. "This is very different from Zilarian meals. We eat mostly soft plants and small water creatures." The translator struggled with some words. Juwan noticed Nari using hand gestures to help explain. Over the next hour as they ate, he observed her closely. Each of her 4 hands moved in specific patterns when the translator failed. "You're using sign language," he realized. Nari nodded. "My people speak with voice and hands together. The translator only catches voice." Juwan had an idea. He pulled up images of human sign language on his tablet and showed them to Nari. "We have something similar. Maybe we can combine them?" For the next few hours, they worked together, creating a simple communication system. Juwan taught Nari basic human hand signs, while she showed him Zilarian gestures. Gia joined in, quickly, picking up the new combined language. By afternoon, they could communicate simple ideas without the translator. It felt more personal, more direct. "Tell us about your world," Gia signed with her hands. Nari's 4 hands moved gracefully. Twin suns, blue water, tall crystal cities. When words failed, Nari drew pictures on Juwan's tablet. She showed them, images of her homeworld, floating buildings that caught the light of 2 suns, creatures that looked like a mix of fish and birds, and forests of spiral-shaped plants. "Beautiful," Juwan signed. "Gone now," Nari replied, her hands moving slowly. "Most cities empty. Disease took families, friends." Juwan shared stories of Earth in return. He showed Nari images of oceans, mountains, and crowded human cities. He told her about human history, the wars, the diseases, the times humans had almost destroyed themselves. "Humans also fought each other?" Nari asked, surprised. "Many times," Juwan signed. "We still do sometimes. We're not perfect." "Then why? Help others?" Nari's 4 hands asked the question with graceful movements. Juwan thought carefully before answering. "Because we know pain. We understand suffering. The best humans try to reduce suffering, not add to it." As the day continued, Nari taught them about Zilarian science and mathematics. Her people had developed complex systems for space navigation that even the station's engineers found impressive. Before the disease, Zilarians had been respected scholars and teachers throughout their sector of space. Why would someone create a disease to destroy your people? Gia asked. Nari's hands moved slowly. Resources. Our home system has rare minerals. With Shilarians gone, others take them. The door to the medical bay opened, and Commander Sunmi entered with 2 station officials. They stopped, surprised to see the 3 of them communicating with hand gestures. What's happening here? Sunmi asked. Cultural exchange, Juwon replied, standing up. And medical progress. Nari's latest tests show the treatment is working. Sunmi looked skeptical. The Crack's ambassador is demanding her removal. He says, keeping a Zilarian on station violates 3 different trade agreements. She's not just a Zilarian, Juwon said firmly. Her name is Nari. She's a scholar, a survivor, and now my friend. One of the officials stepped forward. Dr. Park, friendship, isn't relevant to interstellar regulations. Juwon stood his ground. Actually, it is. Human medical protocols prioritize patient welfare over political considerations. Sunmi studied Nari carefully. Can she really understand us without the translator? In answer, Nari's 4 hands moved, in a combination of human and Zilarian signs. Juwon and Gia smiled as they understood her message. She says, Juwon translated, that humans are the first species in 17 stops to see her as a person instead of a problem. Commander Sunmi's expression softened slightly. You have until tomorrow morning to complete your treatment documentation. After that, the station council will decide. After they left, Nari looked at Juwon with her amber eyes. Using their new combined sign language, she asked a simple question. What happens tomorrow? Juwon's hands moved with determination. Tomorrow, we fight for your people. The station council chamber buzzed with voices. Representatives from 7 different species sat in tiered seats facing a central platform. Commander Sunmi stood at the main console reviewing documents. Juwon entered with Nurse Gia beside him. Nari followed, walking on her own strength now. Her blue-green skin had regained its healthy shine, though she still moved carefully. The room fell silent as the Zilarian entered. Some representatives leaned away as if distance might protect them. The emergency meeting of the Outpost Gamma 9 Council will now begin, Commander Sunmi announced. We are here to decide the matter of the Zilarian patient and Dr. Park's violation of quarantine protocols. The Crack's ambassador rose first, his insect-like form towering over the others. This matter requires no discussion. Station rules are clear. All Zilarians must be removed immediately. Murmurs of agreement came from several council members. I request permission to present medical evidence, Juwon said firmly. Sunmi nodded. Granted. 10 minutes, Doctor. Juwon stepped onto the platform and activated the main display. Images appeared showing the disease progression and treatment results. What you see here is not a natural illness, he explained. This pathogen was engineered specifically to target Zilarian biology. Someone created this disease to eliminate an entire species. The Tholian representative, a crystalline being, shifted uncomfortably. What proof do you have of this claim? Juwon displayed molecular diagrams. These markers show artificial gene sequences. Natural diseases don't have these patterns. He continued explaining how human blood contained antibodies that neutralized the pathogen. His treatment had not only saved Nari, but could potentially save all remaining Zilarians. This is irrelevant, the Crack's ambassador interrupted. Engineered, or natural, the disease is dangerous, the Zilarian must go. A small, rodent-like Velth representative spoke next. If humans are immune, why should other species care? Let them handle the Zilarians elsewhere. Juwon felt his patience slipping. Because this isn't just about disease, it's about justice. Someone is attempting genocide and everyone is looking away. The chamber erupted in multiple languages. Sunmi called for order. Dr. Park, she said when quiet returned. Strong words won't change interstellar agreements. Then maybe this will, Juwon said, bringing up new data. My analysis shows the disease was likely created in a Tholian laboratory. The Tholian representative's crystal body flashed bright colors. This is outrageous. You accuse without evidence. I have evidence, Juwon replied calmly. The pathogen contains trace elements found only in Tholian space, and records show Tholian mining operations expanded into former Zilarian territories immediately after the outbreak began. The council chamber fell silent. Nari stepped forward, next to Juwan. Using their combined sign language, she addressed the council while Jia translated. My people were scholars and teachers. Jia voiced Nari's signs. We had no weapons, no armies. When the sickness came, we asked for help. 17 outposts turned us away. You feared us because someone told you to fear us. The Velth representative shifted uncomfortably. If what the human doctor says is true, helping Zilarians could bring Tholian retaliation against all of us. So you would let an innocent species die because you're afraid? Juwan asked. It is easy for humans to be brave, the Crack's ambassador clicked. You are new to space, you don't understand old conflicts. Perhaps that's exactly why humans should help, Commander Sunmi said unexpectedly. All eyes turned to her. We don't carry your ancient prejudices, we see things differently. Juwan looked at Sunmi with surprise and gratitude. The human treatment works, she continued. I've reviewed Dr. Park's data myself, and if the Tholians engineered this disease that violates the Galactic Charter on Biological Weapons, the Tholian representative flashed angry colors but remained silent. Juwan took a final stand. I became a doctor to help those who need help. On Earth, we learned the hard way that looking away from suffering doesn't make it disappear. It only guarantees more suffering later. He displayed one last image, a map showing the former extent of Zilarian civilization and its current state. This is what happens when we decide some lives matter less than others. If we allow this to continue, who will be targeted next? The Velth? The Cracks? Humans? A long silence filled the chamber. Finally, the Velth representative spoke. I vote to allow the human doctor to continue his treatment and to investigate the origins of this disease. One by one, other representatives joined, some reluctantly. Only the Tholian and Cracks opposed. Commander Sunmi nodded. The council has spoken. Dr. Park will continue his work with full station support. As they left the chamber, Nari's 4 hands signed a simple message to Juwan. You stood when 17 others sat. Why? Juwan's answer was equally simple. Because that's what humans do at our best. We stand. 6 months passed. Outpost Gamma 9 had changed completely. The medical bay had expanded into a full treatment center occupying an entire section of the station. Where once Juwan had worked alone, now 20 human doctors and nurses moved efficiently between patients of various species. Juwan finished treating a young Velth with a breathing problem. The small rodent-like child chattered happily as his mother thanked the doctor. The medicine works well, she said in broken human language. No more night coughs. Come back in 3 days for a follow-up, Juwan replied with a smile. As the Velth family left, Juwan looked across the busy treatment floor. In the main laboratory, he could see Nari working with 3 human scientists. Her 4 hands moved with precision as she adjusted settings on complex equipment. The cure they had developed worked. After proving that human blood neutralized the engineered disease, Juwan and Nari had created a synthetic version that could be produced in large quantities. The first shipments had gone out to hidden Zilarian refugee camps 3 months ago. Reports showed recovery rates above 90%. Nurse Ga approached, holding a data tablet. The Tholian diplomatic vessel just docked, she said. They're requesting medical assistance for their ambassador. Juwan raised an eyebrow. The same ambassador who tried to have Nari removed? Gia nodded with a small smile. The very same. He's asking specifically for you and Nari. Interesting how things change, Juwan said. The investigation into the engineered disease had brought unexpected consequences. Evidence had proven Tholian involvement, leading to sanctions against their government. Now they sought to repair relations by cooperating with the new medical protocols. Juwan walked to the laboratory to find Nari. She looked up as he entered, her amber eyes brightening with recognition. The Tholian ship has arrived, he said using their combined sign language. Are you ready to meet them? She signed back. Are you? Juwan asked. They tried to destroy your people. Nari's 4 hands moved gracefully. Healing requires facing those who hurt you. Isn't that what you taught me? Together they walked through the station corridors toward the diplomatic reception area. Station personnel of all species nodded respectfully as they passed. The story of the human doctor and the Zilarian patient had spread throughout this sector of space. Commander Sunmi waited for them at the reception area. She had become one of their strongest supporters after the council meeting. The Tholian ambassador brings an official apology to the Zilarian people, she informed them, and a request for the new treatment protocols. They denied creating the disease, Juwan noted. Yes, but they stopped opposing the cure, Sunmi replied. Sometimes that's the best we can hope for in diplomacy. The doors opened and the Tholian delegation entered. The ambassador's crystalline body glittered under the station lights. He approached slowly, flanked by 2 assistants. Dr. Park, the ambassador spoke through a translator, and Zilarian Nari, I come seeking the wisdom of human medicine. Interesting, Juwan replied calmly. 6 months ago you called my methods dangerous and illegal. The Tholian's colors shifted to deeper blues. Circumstances change, views evolve. My government wishes to establish formal relations with the new interspecies medical corps. This was the name given to the organization Juwan and Nari had created. With support from Earth and surviving Zilarian communities, they had established treatment centers on 3 stations so far. Gamma 9 served as headquarters. Later, after the formal meeting ended, Juwan and Nari stood at the observation window watching ships arrive from dozens of worlds. A steady stream of vessels now visited the station, many seeking the unique medical care that combined human and Zilarian knowledge. When I found you outside my door, Juwan said, I never imagined this. Nari's 4 hands signed rapidly. 17 outposts rejected me before I reached yours. Each one feared something different, believed something different. None would listen. And now? Now they all listen. Human medicine has become famous across 3 sectors. A sleek ship approached the station bearing the new emblem of the Interspecies Medical Corps, a stylized human hand and 4 Zilarian hands together in a circle. Not just human medicine anymore, Juwan corrected her. Something new. Something better. Nari touched his arm with one of her hands. My people have a saying, the hand that helps shapes the future. We have a similar saying, Juwan replied, but I think I like yours better. As they watched, more ships approached the station. Velth, Krax, even Tholian vessels. Each carried patients seeking help or doctors coming to learn the new treatment methods. Tomorrow, the first human Zilarian medical ship launches, Nari signed. It will visit those who cannot come here. Juwan nodded. Starting with the 17th outpost that turned you away. Nari's amber eyes showed what might have been a smile. Full circle? No, Juwan replied. Just the beginning.